back.
Your car makes no fucking sense, dude.
I'm getting a new one soon.
Hello, everyone. We went to the cinema, and now, before anyone says, yes, there's a thingy there in the way. Yes, we realized that this film came out in America like 2 or 3 or 4 months ago.
Did
So
it?
yeah.
Oh.
So this is old for you know, the 20 odd people who will watch this vlog. And put your head closer to the middle. Okay. Tyler is very turned on right now. Yes, this is our first vlog since Django Unchained.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's not been very much that has been on
That
late
suits our
enough.
time scales.
Yeah, because we go on a Tuesday when it's half price day, and he's
Aye.
got a rather cinema unfriendly work schedule.
Yes.
So, but we managed it this time,
And we saw a film.
we saw Mama, Mama,
Mama?
Mama,
Mama?
not the Mama.
Oh my god, do you remember the baby dolls that used to go, Mama? Mama?
I remember the dinosaurs that we used to go, not the Mama, not the Mama, not the Mama, not the Mama, not the Mama. Which I don't think anyone got in the Poltergeist review. I don't think even Justin got that reference, but oh well. We saw Mama, and
Oh my god, the doll used to go off every time I flashed my camera. Sorry. My sister had a baby doll thing that went, Mama, Mama, and for some reason the flash in my camera triggered it. It just reminds me of this. But we saw Mama.
it's not the worst horror movie that we have seen. It's not the best.
It's mediocrely okay.
I thought it was fairly solid for the most part. At the end, spoilers, it turns into David Lynch meets Tim Burton. The actual the monster herself, the mama, she's one of the more interestingly designed ghosts I've seen in cinema.
She looks like a Play-Doh face.
Sort of, I'm fairly sure she was created as a mixture of CGI and puppetry, but
The hands were definitely puppetry parts.
very, 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 you know, good. You're doing something original. That's nice. That's you know.
But decide what kind of fucking ghost she is next time. Sorry.
She turned into like Jaws shark, but with her hair on the floor several times.
Some points she could walk through walls, some points she couldn't walk through walls and had to open doors.
And used portals, which looked like vaginas.
Yes, large black vaginas leaking bugs.
And then there was a doctor in it who, he resembled Saul Rubinek. Now I don't know if you remember who Saul Rubinek is, but he played Dr. Munger in Memory Run. It's like they tried to get Saul Rubinek, but they couldn't, so they got this guy who's a bit like Saul Rubinek, but not quite. So
They had Uncle Lucas / Luke, who was, you know, a poor man's Ben Affleck.
do not insult Jaime Lannister. His family will fucking kill you. It's Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones, bitch.
I know who Jamie Lannister.
That's why he was okay walking around the woods with a concussion and a broken arm, because no one would fuck with Jaime Lannister, because Jaime Lannister fucks with his sister. In fact, I think that his girlfriend might have actually been his sister. Just to get the Game of Thrones reference in there. You know, him playing his own brother in that? The fact, you know, him trying to kill his kid, that's not the most fucked up thing that he has done in acting to a child. Jaime Lannister fuckers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the chick was like, you don't know this person. She looked like Martin, like the girl who's the female version of Martin out of QC.
You're right, I don't know what you're talking about.
Questionable Content is a web comic. There's a sort of rocker chick who resembles exactly that girl. And I can't remember her name, but she's the female version of Martin.
So now you know. Okay, I have one problem with ghost films, which, to be honest, it never really struck me until I watched this film, and in retrospect, this was a problem with almost all of them. If ghosts exist, and they're capable of doing the shit that you see in the film, if they can do it once, they can do it more than once, so why is that the first time it's ever happened? Or the first time that, you know, it's being, you know, tested or whatever like that, or there's evidence for it? You know, if that sort of thing is possible, that should happen a fuckload, and there should be ghosts flying all over the place. It should look like fucking Ghostbusters out there. So, suspension of disbelief for ghost story things, gone.
My biggest problem, spoilers by the way, the ending, Mama's entire point is to commit some sort of suicide with a child, and, you know, committing suicide with a child will finally find her inner peace. But she had those kids in the woods, in a cabin, right beside that cliff.
Yeah.
For 6 years.
5.
Oh, I thought they said 6.
I thought it was 5.
Well, for more than 4 years. And she never tried it then. She waited until the kids were taken away.
They were waiting for the camera crew to arrive.
The
You try to commit suicide with an audience, dude. It's difficult.
But the kids drew pictures of them swimming in the fucking lake.
Yep. It's big plot hole for the movie there. All I have to say, the 2 kids, I'm quite sure the one who was older, pre 5 years, was the same one who played the younger one, post 5 years.
Could be.
I'm fairly sure they're the same person. Whether it was or not, the one who played the younger one later on was very, very good.
Yes.
One of the subjects I used to do reading on because it fascinated me was feral children, and she got a lot of the traits perfect. You know, she running around on all fours and all. She
did it very well.
Yeah.
And chewing on glass. I don't know how they acted that bit, but the kid was chewing on glass at one point, and I was like,
I didn't notice her chewing on glass.
It was whenever the aunt was visiting, and she's like, "You're abusing these kids. She's covered in bruise, and she's eating glass."
I didn't think she was eating glass. I thought she was just eating something else.
No, it was a paperweight. You saw it several times.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the girl is. I can't remember the young. She remind. I've seen photos and read stuff about Amala and Kamala, the wolf girl's Vindia, and I because 2 girls roughly the same age as these girls. I don't know if it was an inspiration or not, but I've seen the pictures and photos and stuff, reminiscent of the way that they moved. So good on you, small child.
The ghost's entire story makes very little sense.
The ghost is a troll. Did you notice that? The ghost would do things just to fuck with the other characters and the audience.
Yeah, just like appear behind you and go ooh and be gone whenever you turned around.
Just for the audience.
But she could move that fast in that scene, but she couldn't move that fast in other scenes.
Or just be hanging around outside the door, just see stuff.
No, she was just wanting to watch them have sex there.
Mama seemed to have some sort of an interesting sense of humor in her rather elongated Edvard Munch's The Scream face.
Lily ruined it all, but the ghost story actually makes no sense. So there's this crazy girl at a Catholic-run asylum, which is actually looks like a barn church, which doesn't make sense. And she...
Well, it's Virginia, so that may well have been like in Pennsylvania, and a lot of things... I've been to Pennsylvania, Omega's from there, and a lot of things are designed to look like barns. Even new things. I've been inside a Walmart that looks like a barn on the outside. Lancaster County, that shit's everywhere.
Okay, so she was in some sort
Yeah,
of...
I've met Amish people, so...
She was in a barn fetishist
I've been
insane
everywhere.
asylum. And in this insane asylum, there was a room with a mirror stand in the middle with 8 mirrors facing out the ways. Because apparently they were practicing some sort of witchcraft to do with reflections.
No, have you never seen Conan the Destroyer? One of those mirrors is going to have the real wizard in it, and the other ones aren't, and you got to smash all the mirrors.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's witchcraft. The 8 mirror thing.
Conan the Barbarian.
Well,
Conan the Destroyer, sorry, Conan the Barbarian.
So then the woman stabs a random nun to death. A priest and some villagers with pitchforks chase her, and she jumps off a cliff with her baby.
In their defense, you're seeing a dream given by an insane ghost from 150 years ago from the point of view of the woman who was crazy at the time. TV tropes is a concept of unreliable narrator, and I think we've got
The most unreliable narrator.
Unreliable narrator squared. Although the very interesting stylistic bits of these things, whenever you had something weird going on, like a dream or a flashback or something, they did something really weird with it, like the Jaime Lannister was having a dream about his brother for some reason, and his brother's ghost was talking to him, and the wall suddenly turned into the cursed videotape from Ring.
It was very overexposed in the dream sequences. I liked that. It was visually good. Except for the bits where, the 3 times, I think, where they did the dream within a dream.
Yeah, that's bit shit. See, what I want to see a film where someone does 4 dreams within a dream just to really fuck with you. But the dream where you see how Mama committed suicide and stuff, the reds were heavily accented. They used threshold. They had sharpen on. I'm just saying, I could easily recreate the look of this dream in my show, and it would look better than this. In fact, I think I will do that for this vlog.
Ah, okay. So we are now in a dream. But so the woman committed suicide. Then apparently spent eons looking for her child in the forest. According to one of the girls that she had later adopted-ish as a ghost mother who feeds them cherries. Where the fuck is she getting that many cherries? But anyway, enough cherries to make a small mountain of cherry seeds. By the way,
I'm sure that's actually some sort of there's enough fairy tale references in their story. You know, two girls lost in the woods, and you got the house, and you got the person. You know, there's a lot of fairy tale sort of iconography there, and fairy tales were full of weird sexual iconography. You know, used as ways to worry children. You know, like Little Red Riding Hood is basically about puberty and sexual assault.
yes.
So Cherry, I'm thinking that is possibly a very wry joke at that expense. Maybe.
But anyway, the according to the girl, Victoria, who has spent 5, 4, 6, whatever years with the ghost mama, and been given all these dreams to learn how mama is, mama has spent the time looking for her lost baby in the woods. So you think, oh, the story arc's going to be give the lost baby. So
Well, they do that.
Dr. Guy finds the lost baby, leaves it in his office, and goes looking for mama in the woods. And where's the
With
logic?
a photo, with a camera.
Yes.
It's like, I'm gonna totally just, I've seen Ghostbusters. Ghosts run away when you take photos of them.
I've played Mario. Ghosts run away when you look at them. But oh yeah, the camera was never found. They spent forever setting up the shot of him taking pictures of Mama as she kills him.
It was a very well done
It
sequence.
was very well done sequence, but somebody should have found the fucking camera.
Or his body. They went on 2 separate occasions to the place where his body was, and it's like he's vanished. We're gonna have Mama too. Doctor.
And then, suddenly the ghost can possess people
And turn them into her.
and turn them into elongated plastic face people.
Possessing people, I'm fine with. I think that's an okay trope of ghost things. However, turning the body into an approximation of how you yourself look, that's a new trope that needs to be explained.
Nah,
Or it needs to be sort of lampshaded. That's unlikely.
it's just strange that she could possess people as long as it was only that Aunt Jean woman and not any of the other people that got in her way.
Yeah, she could have done that.
She could have just possessed fucking... What's her face? It begins with A.
Annabelle.
She could have just possessed Annabelle later whenever she's trying to hold the kids off the cliff.
I think that's what she was. Well, she could have possessed them later on, but I think she was trying to possess Annabelle when the aunt came in. That's what she was trying to do, I think.
I thought she was just sort of pushing her head in the floor.
I thought it looked like she was doing something crazy to her back, so I think she was trying to go in there.
Ah.
So I maybe I'm wrong though. Oh, at the start of the film, they're all like, "Oh, we got the girls. Oh man, we got the girls, and you're gonna look after them because you're a musician and you're an artist and your flat is really really too small for this. So, you're gonna totally their other aunt is gonna get the kids unless we find you a better place to live." So the doctor arranges for them to have this massive fucking house. Now, when I was watching the film, I assumed it was a house that was owned by the hospital, and the hospital had arranged for this in exchange for the kids getting continuing interviews with the doctor, because this was a scoop. But apparently...
The way I saw it was the doctor, with his private funds, arranged for this house, and this was a house he had been using for other case studies, and we saw at the end on his laptop that he was writing a book about the story.
So, it could have been either, but I have to say, if
hey, you know these feral children we found for 6 months? You're going to look after them unsupervised.
80 days. It was 87 days, sorry.
You're going to look after them unsupervised.
3 months. So yeah, after 3 months, you're going to get them, and we're not going to give you a fucking nurse, even though the doctor has arranged for you to live in this massive house with them.
Yeah, you know why that you're an unsuccessful artist and your girlfriend looks like a heroin addict? Yeah, totally, you're fine to be looking after feral children in an unfamiliar house.
I thought they were fine to look after the kids, but there really should have been at least one nurse 24/7.
Yeah, some sort of supervised assisted living.
Yeah, maybe that would have made the film more complicated, but I doubt it.
Mama could have just possessed the nurse.
Yeah, you wouldn't have needed the aunt. The nurse could have been convinced that, they're going insane. There you go.
And the aunt was like, the aunt at the middle of the film got accused of breaking into the house because the girl, Annabelle, had noticed Mama. And it was like, have you been breaking into my house? No, why would you say that? I know what I'll do. I'll break into your house.
Yeah, to prove that you're abusing your children. Isn't that inadmissible as evidence?
Yeah. In court, that's inadmissible. to legally obtain.
Oh boy. It's a decent horror movie with massive fucking flaws.
It's actually it's fun enough to watch, although the fact that they used a chair breaking as a jump scare at the start is stupid. Just the first jump scare in the film. I'm a dad and I'm gonna break a chair.
I'm Jimmy Lannister, bitches.
No, his brother.
He's still Jimmy Lannister, same actor.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder.
Did you not notice that? I have to say, this is the second horror movie vlog I've done in the last 6 months featuring a cast member from Game of Thrones, and I am very happy that this time I am able to reference Game of Thrones because this time I fucking recognize the guy, because the guy in Silent Hill 2, I didn't fucking recognize because he was pretending to be Australian. And of course Sean Bean was in it too, but everyone knew that.
Sean Bean is a sexy motherfucker.
But one of the dream sequences, because it was like, we're looking through the thing and bits are going randomly dark and evil looking just at times, so it was fucking Silent Hill Dark World all over again.
At times I thought the house itself was possessed simply because, butterflies all around the house, moths really, but I say butterflies. Really, it's the story of a young girl who fell in love, and she took the butterflies in her tummy too literally.
You ever notice Jamie Lannister sort of vanished for massive portions of the film? It's like 20 minutes later. Oh yeah, he's still around.
He's still in hospital even though he said he was getting out the next day, so that's a really long day.
And then he sort of sneaks out and he goes off to the woods and he's like, I'm going to totally see you tomorrow. 3 days later, I'm in the woods!
Hey, this is the bridge my brother pointed at. I wonder if I can walk directly into the concrete.
Here we go. Here's where we got the bridge. It's with a road and there's cars coming back. But I'll leave my car right in the middle so no cars can get through. I'm a totally irresponsible and dickish ghostbuster.
Yeah, well, I'm a ghost that's been hiding myself and teasing people for the entire film. I'll just float here.
I absolutely loved the shot, the long-held shot where it was like it looked like the kids were playing there, and then the Annabelle went back and forth, and then suddenly one of the kids is over there, and it's like, oh, that kid's playing with the mama, but mama's not being seen because we're being all coy about it. But it's like, oh, that's great. I clapped at that.
It was like it was having a tug of war with the blanket, and you assumed it was Victoria and Lily, and it was just Lily there tugging the blanket, and then Annabelle's walking up and down with the wash, and then Victoria walks past, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah, it was.
And it was a really impressive long shot.
I love long shots. Stylistically, director-wise, good work. Fine, interesting. Better script next time. I think I would like to see more of what the director does. I know Guillermo del Toro produced this, although part of me just wishes I could have watched Evil Dead, because I am looking forward to that, or Pacific Rim. Are you looking forward to Pacific Rim?
It sounds like a porno.
It's Guillermo del Toro,
Mm-hmm.
and you know who that is, of course.
Yes.
He's doing a giant monster versus giant robot mecha fight movie. Big budget.
Why is it called Pacific Rim? Do they
I
rim
think
each other peacefully?
I think it's set in the Pacific. But they got giant fucking robots. It's a live-action, $200 million giant robot versus monsters movie. This is going to be amusing.
I just want to see something shot in the same style as Mama, because some of the shots in it, some of the themes, some of everything was genuinely creepy at parts. Just something shot like that with a stronger script, and maybe somebody who doesn't forget to act halfway through.
Well, to be fair, Jimmy Lannister was unconscious halfway through.
I know, but it just later scenes he.
I don't know. He was a bit flat when he was being like this. Oh, I could totally do an impression of Mama. Check it out. Come on, do an impression. You're just gonna open your eyes up really wide and then have your jaw jut out and go. And do weird things with your hands.
You look like the Pope.
Which one? Wait, there isn't a Pope right now. He's retired and the other one hasn't been elected yet.
Well, we've got a choice.
Well, we don't have a choice. The idiots have a choice.
The idiots have a choice.
I'm not talking about Catholics in general. I'm talking about the Cardinals. I'm quite happy to call all of them idiots. It's a bit unfair to call 1 billion people, though, blanketly idiots, so I'm not. But yeah, the Cardinals, fuck them. Well, you can fuck him, I won't.
I think the next pope should be voted in by Twitter, not by white smoke. That's so old hat.
The smoke doesn't actually have a vote.
I know, but we should announce it on Twitter, not with smoke.
Oh, he said voted in.
I misspoke.
Just notice my impersonations of Mama are uncomfortably close to a character, a man from the early 80s who was on British television called Joey, who was he was on a kids show basically designed to show children the realities of living with certain conditions.
Yeah.
And accidentally, for the next 20 or 30 years, his name and his condition were used basically as synonymous just for children insults, and my impersonation of Mama is uncomfortably close to one of the kids' impersonations of him to insult him, and I did not intend that, although I have to wonder, did they base Mama on people with very unfortunate physical conditions? Because that would be unfair.
They based Mama on a Play-Doh sheep that went wrong.
Ah, but still, it's a bit weird, it's convergent evolution.
Why at one point was Mama's spine obviously broken as she was walking around, then later she was whole again? And then she's like, oh, I got my baby, this will restore my beauty and I will look like normal almost for a short while. Then, fuck it, throw these bones away.
Well, she suddenly realized that it's like, oh no, that kid's alive, this one who was made of bones is dead. Even though she wants to make the kid dead.
I like the record keeper girl.
Oh, I thought she wasn't, I thought she was a bit irritating, although I have to say, the fact that she was wearing a 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt, very, very good costuming.
Oh, there was this old lady with grey long hair, and she was in charge of the record keeping, and the doctor kept going to her, oh, I want records in this, and she's the one who found the corpse in the archives in aisle 17, the lost and found for things that don't want to be found. You know, because apparently they keep corpses in boxes in government buildings.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Oh yeah, and let's not forget super magnetized builds. But they keep shit like that in government buildings now. But I really liked her because she reminded me almost exactly of a librarian who used to do almost that job that I used to know.
Did she make spirited and cryptic comments about dead bodies?
No, but she was the same flavour of person.
Did she wear a 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt?
Probably.
See? Good costuming.
The costuming in it was actually pretty good.
Although Annabelle seemed to only have 1 t-shirt.
Yeah.
She wore that Misfits one for like 3/4 of the movie.
Although, remember, that I think that was supposed to be one day, even though it went dark and got bright again.
Was it?
Yeah, because sure, he was getting out of hospital in one day.
Yeah, but he didn't.
But maybe he did, and that was just one very long shot, badly time-framed day.
Really hard to keep track of time in this movie because whenever you're there in the girl's bedroom, regardless of whether it's day or night, no what time it is, it's always really bright out the window.
And they're always asleep with one of them under the bed. Unless it's an inappropriate time to be sleeping.
What I want to know is, whenever the girl was outside, you know, Annabelle came into the room and she looked around, she found, there were 2 beds, there's one on this side and there's one over here. She came in and she found the older one sleeping there. However, the previous night, the younger one was sleeping underneath that bed and the older one was on that bed.
What I want to know, if they had such a problem with the punch-out for the younger one sleeping under the bed, why the fuck they didn't buy bunk beds and put Victoria on the top bunk?
I don't think they had a problem with her sleeping on the bottom bed.
Yes, they did. It's child abuse. That was one of the things that would have been taken pictures of and been like, this is child abuse.
It's a feral child. The aunt being all like, oh, she has bruises and, you know, she is, you know, withdrawn stuff. That's going to be evidence of child abuse. No, it's fucking not. She was 1 year old, and then she spent 5 years in a fucking cabin, you know, looking, you know... Have you ever seen Nell with Jodie Foster? It doesn't usually end up with Liam Neeson fucking Jodie Foster. Any court with a fucking half a brain would go, bitch, she's fucking insane. You shouldn't have her either, and then put her back in the hospital.
Well, yes, anybody with half a brain would put those kids back in the hospital. They need proper rehabilitation, not just warm love and kindness.
Yeah, it is like a trope of the modern day, as though that love trumps reality. No, it fucking doesn't!
This is the one part where rehabilitation actually counts.
Yeah, and if one of those kids turned out to be future Hitler, you fucking kill them. It's only ethical.
You don't kill the children, because Mama will suddenly appear as a smaller version of herself and try to rip your head off.
But if one of them is future Hitler, you gotta at least try. And in case anyone missed it, this is a reference to my Looper review.
This is an ongoing argument. Although Looper could have been solved if he just decided not to come back there in the future.
Come back where?
No, if he just made the decision, whenever I'm older, I'm not going to come back and kill this kid. Bruce Willis would have disappeared anyway. He didn't need to shoot himself.
I don't think the decision would have made any difference. They would have actually physically had to stop it.
Let's not talk about Looper. I didn't like it.
Looper is overrated as all fuck.
I watched it again recently. That's why I'm thinking that.
I think I'm completely right about Looper. Bruce Willis was the hero. Gordon Joseph Levitt killed the hero and allowed future Hitler to rise. Go back and watch the Looper review. I explain fully why Gordon Joseph Levitt was the villain.
You should put a link in.
I might, depending. This on the WordPress. I'll try to remember that. If I don't, leave a comment and reminding me, and I'll do that. But anyway, Mama is solid. Could do with more lesbianism. There was implied lesbianism.
There was implied lesbianism.
Annabelle and who I'm assuming was her ex-girlfriend.
Or some rock chick who's in the band. Oh, also, Annabelle looked like a less androgynous Noel Fielding.
So now you know.
And knowing is half the battle. Go see the film. It's genuinely creepy in parts.
Although, if you're watching this from America, it's already finished in cinemas a long time ago.
Download it buy a DVD.
Next week, we're going to try and see Oz, the Great and Powerful, and I warn you, I've got mixed to negative feelings about the film going into it, so it'll be interesting.
I have had absolutely zero exposure to any of the film's media, apart from that one big poster for it in the cinema.
Maybe instead of watching Oz, we should watch Return to Oz, because it's fucking amazing.
Is that the musical one?
No, Return to Oz, Fairuza Balk.
Oh, yeah.
The Gnome King.
I have only seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I've seen about 400 times because it's my sister's favourite film.
They're not
oh
connected
my God,
to each other.
I put it on her fucking iPod and she just watches it over and over.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe has nothing to do with Oz.
No, not The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The other one, where they go down Yellow Brick Road.
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. I don't care anymore about The Wizard of Oz.
Have you ever seen Return to Oz?
No.
You're gonna fucking watch it. It is a classic. It is one of those great films to terrify children. It was marketed as the next Wizard of Oz, so a bunch of young children went to see it, and they were fucking crippled emotionally. It's brilliant in that way. It's one of the darkest fucking kids movies you can get. You've got Dorothy, who's, captured by Mombi. Mombi is this evil wizard woman who's got no head. So she kidnaps and beheads women and then takes her head and then replaces her head as she feels like. And she's gonna let Dorothy grow a couple of years and then behead her. And you just got all these severed heads, screaming at Dorothy and all. And then you got the guys, the wheelers. Okay, they're these crazy sort of guys who are like wheels for hands and feet, and they sort of go really, really fast and they get whipped a lot. And then they go into the deadly desert, which basically turns you into sand. It's more like the books in that it's like the Wizard of Oz movie took several levers and what the fuckery and darkness, you getting the guy getting disintegrated by eating eggs and shit. Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
Does it fit perfectly with The Dark Side of the Moon?
I have no idea. I don't give a shit. It's Return to Oz. It's fucking brilliant. I might give Fairuza Balk shit in things like Worst Witch and coming next week, Island of Dr. Moreau, but I really like Fairuza Balk.
Oh, she's pretty. I would do evil things to her.
I know you would, but yeah. In fact, don't see Mama. Watch Return to Oz with Fairuza Balk.
It sounds genuinely more scary.
One of there's a sofa with a moose's head which is alive and flies because it makes sense in the movie, but it was animated and voiced by the guy who directed Blade. That's random, I know, but it happened.
There's a sofa with a moose's head that flies that was animated and voiced by the guy who directed Blade.
They have this dust that brings things to life. And so they're all trapped.
I'm going to watch this film now. You have made a case.
Why don't we just watch it with me? You know, one of these days I'll bring stuff over, and we can. I'll bring. I have a copy.
Okay. I will watch it with you.
Okay, because, you know, eventually we're going to run out of... One of these Tuesdays we're going to have nothing in the cinema, and I'm going to run out of movie reviews to write notes for, so I'll just bring regular movies.
Anyhow, we should probably wrap this up.
Go to see Return to Oz. It's much better than Mama.
If you're bored and it's still in the cinema where you are, and you like jump scares, and you're a fan of Tim Burton, go and see Mama.
And then go to see... Then watch Big Trouble in Little China, because I've had to think about that a lot because of some reviews I've been writing.
And then, you know what? Watch Groundhog Day, because it's actually a really good film. No matter what anybody says about it, it's a genuinely good film.